And we're live. And we have no juice. Oh, wait. I have a short in the line for my charger. So you guys know how it is. You have to like move it around in order to get it to charge. Okay, so I got it to charge. And now I need to plug this one in order to get my light to come on. So let's plug this in. We're back live. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Mm. Okay, we got that plugged in. Now we gotta plug this in to get light. Get some power up in here. Hi guys! We are live. You guys be sure to like the live as you guys come in and look down. I don't know. And look down and make sure that you guys are subscribed before we get started here because I still need to get my light on and charge my phone. Okay. I go there. Now let me go here. There. Oh, okay. Why isn't that sticking? Like that is super loose. Yes, you guys, as you guys come in, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe button. Dang, now the charger went out again. Come on, charger. Hi guys. Okay, wait, it's charging. I have a shark in my charger. So if I move this charger any little bit, it's trying to go out on me. So let me just let that go. Okay, as you guys are coming in, I gotta get my dinner in the I gotta get my dinner in the air fryer, you guys. As you guys are coming in. So usually I eat my um Burger King, the Dave's Double. I take the bun off and then I eat the apple pecan salad. But I was running so late today that I said I'm just going to have chicken wings for dinner. So I'm going to have these are the chicken wings that I get, you guys, that I just get from um oh, you should have used them. This is a troll. Yes, you guys, be sure to say hi as you guys come in and tell me where you're watching from and be sure to hit the like button. Let me remove this. Okay. Be sure to hit the like button as you guys come in and make sure that you guys are subscribed. So today I am having my chicken wings for dinner. I need to eat this goat cheese. Did I ever show you guys this goat cheese that I get from the grocery store? And it has blueberries around it. Goat cheese, it's like all these benefits of goat cheese. And so you see, it's really tiny. But I bought this a couple of weeks ago, so I really need to start eating it. I haven't even opened it yet. So I'm going to have that. I'm going to have chicken wings. And then this is the sauce that I always tell you guys instead of buffalo sauce, I tell you guys that I use this sugar free Thai chili sauce on my wings. So that's what I'm going to do today. But easy peasy. You guys, you can cook like this and it's so easy. You don't have to go run into the fast food places. You can make your own food super, super fast. Let me get my band up. I gotta get my air fryer band and my seasonings. Yep, yep. I need my salt and I need my pepper. Okay, so these are my ingredients that I use when I'm doing my wings. Of course, salt. I use this white pepper. It's because I have it in my pantry. There's no real reason other than that, and I just want to use it. I don't want it to go to waste. So instead of using regular black pepper, I've been using this. Um, Hi, NHHG. Yes, you guys, be sure to say hi as you guys come in and let me know where you are watching from. Let me go get my scissors so I can put the chicken wings. And I do my chicken wings, you guys, in my air fryer. So all I do, easy peasy. And I just use this whole bag because anything left over, I'm just going to have for dinner tomorrow. So I don't even try to figure out how many pieces I want. I just dump the whole thing in the air fryer. Let me do that. So I dump the whole thing in the air fryer and then I just season it. Move some of this stuff out the way. Yes, you guys, be sure to say hi as you guys come in. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. I'm a little late today because after dance class, I went on a coffee date with one of the girlies. Woo, we had some good conversation. Yes, you guys, this is like my secret ingredient for my wings. Dark chili powder is a must. So, salt, pepper, dark chili powder, garlic, and onion powder. It is the bomb. And I don't even bother trying to get the other side. I just, the first go round, I just do just the first side. I did salt, I did chili powder, I did the white pepper, and now the garlic powder. Boop, 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 boop. Just like that. And then I'm going to take my spray, and this is the spray that I use, you guys. I just get this from Amazon. Or olive oil spray. I go between this one and the other one I use is the avocado oil spray. Yes, you guys be sure to say hi as you guys come in. Hi, Igor. Be sure to say hi. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button. Even if you cannot stay for the entire live, be sure to hit that thumbs up button before you leave and check and look down and make sure that you're subscribed before you guys leave. So I spray it with that. And now the first half, I'm just going to do 20 minutes. With this air fryer, I used to be able to do temperature 370 for 15 minutes, flip it, do another 15 minutes at 370. But with this new air fryer, because you guys know I use my other one so much that it just went kaput, and I got a new one, and it has the front facing. Can you let me turn this around so you guys can see? You guys see it has a little window right here. This is so freaking cool. It kind of reminds me of like when you're in the grocery stores and you see the chickens just rolling on the rotisserie chickens. That's what this reminds me of. So, but this new one now, I do 400 degrees, 20 minutes, then I shake it and kind of flip them over and do 400 degrees, another 15 minutes, sometimes even 20, because I like mine done, done. I don't like my wings wet. I don't like wet wings. No, I like them good and crispy. Burned, but just good and crispy. Okay. 400. Let's add some minutes. 20 minutes. Okay. So just like that, I can talk to you guys while I'm cooking my chicken and cooking my good meal. And then after they're done, after the wings are done, I just take this sugar-free Thai chili sauce. This is by G Hughes. Can you guys see that? G Hughes. This same G Hughes, you guys, makes ketchup, uh ketchup, barbecue sauce, and like a variety of barbecue sauce. Original, hickory smoked, honey barbecue. They're all good and they're all sugar free. And so I use the Thai chili for my chicken wings. I use, if I want a barbecue taste, I'll use the barbecue sauce. I'll even use the barbecue sauce when I have hamburgers. I use the ketchup. And then, of course, he also makes sugar free salad dressing. Delicious. I'm going to show you guys. I just realized I just realized that I'm down to my last bottle. So when I know I have my last bottle, I like to set it out to remind myself because I think I get when I order it, I get a pack of 4. I get the variety pack, and so it has different flavors. So this one is actually called sugar-free. They all say that, but this one is actually called sweet vinaigrette. This is my least favorite. That's why I still have it. I use this last because it's my least favorite. But I get a variety pack, and and in the variety pack comes raspberry balsamic vinaigrette. That is my absolute favorite, which is why it's gone. Hi, Silver Screen. Yes, you guys be sure to say hi as you guys come in. Hi, is that Safari? Safira man. Yes, you guys be sure to say hi as you guys come in and let me know where you guys are watching from. Yes, let me know where you guys are watching from. So this is my least favorite out of the 4. Raspberry vinaigrette. The other flavor, my second favorite of the variety pack is the honey mustard. And the third one, what is the third one? maybe raspberry and balsamic vinaigrette are separate. So it may be raspberry vinaigrette, balsamic vinaigrette is my second favorite. Third favorite is the honey mustard salad dressing. And then the fourth favorite is this one that just says sweet vinaigrette. Because it's just a little too sweet for me. But what I do is I just mix it often. Oh, the Q&A came up. I missed it. It'll come up again. Indiana, hey! The real said they're watching from Indiana. So this is my least favorite one because it's a little too sweet, but all I do is just take it, mix some water in with it to dilute some of that sweetness, and then I'll pour it over my salad. So today for dinner, I'm gonna have the chicken wings with this Thai because after they cook, I'm just gonna put some of this in a bowl and take my tongs and then just toss the wings in this sauce instead of a buffalo sauce. I'm gonna have my blueberry goat cheese, and then I'm gonna have a large salad, and then I'm gonna have to use this bottle of the sugar-free salad dressing. Ah, the real says, I love, love, love your content. Oh, thank you so much. Yes, Silver Screen, they are sugar free. He makes this G Hughes guy. He makes a lot of different sugar free. I think his thing is condiments. So he makes a lot of sugar free condiments. Once I got a hold of him, once I started my keto journey. So I originally started keto back in 2018 and I lost a nice little amount of weight. I didn't have that much to lose, but I want to say I lost 20 pounds the first time I went on keto, but that's because I just didn't have a lot of weight to lose. And then COVID hit, start drinking. Of course, everybody's habits were all off and we were all inside, probably going through depression. And so I started drinking, I started eating, and I came off of keto. This is why I tell you guys if you want to do a low carb diet, it is not a diet, it is a lifestyle. You cannot do this whole back and forth. One week I'm keto, the next week I'm low fat, the next week I'm low carb. You cannot do that. Not with keto and not with low carb. You will go back to carbs and sugars and you will gain more weight than you lost. So this is why I tell people to be committed to it. And it's a lifestyle. It is a lifestyle. Last weekend, was that last weekend? I went to go see that private screening of the Michael Jackson movie, and I had popcorn and popcorn. Because when I go to the theater, I'm going to treat myself. Like, there's no need for me to go to the theater if I'm going to still be trying to adhere to, strict keto, and I'm not going to eat any popcorn. If I can't have popcorn, I'm not going to the theater. That's just me. And so last weekend I had fun. I had a really good time and I had a lot of popcorn. And that scale showed it the next day. Yep, 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 yep. The scale showed it because when you start eating those carbs, the carb is going to now hold on to all that water. And so I wasn't upset because I know that it's just water weight. And the minute I get back on keto 4 or 5 days later, 5 pounds are going to just drop just like that because it's just water weight. So I wasn't upset, but it is a lifestyle change. If you're going to, oh yeah, Silver Screen said, living your best life. Absolutely. Oh, yes. The Real says, true story. I just watch what I eat and walk every day. Absolutely. Reals, I do 10,000 steps a day. I don't even know what I meant. Look, 12,000, oh, 12,032 steps today. And it's 3:21. It just depends on how I feel. When I get off this live, if I just sometimes I just be in the mood where I'm like, oh, I want to see if I can get to 15. And I'll just keep walking around the house, walking around the house. The reels, that's how I lost weight the first two times that I went on keto. I didn't actually have a gym membership. I was just walking around my house, walking around my house, just walking, 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 walking. And that first time I don't think I even had a pedometer. I was just like walking in 30-minute intervals. And I remember I was just, how I was calculating it then was I would do 3 sets of 30 minutes. So I would just walk for 30 minutes. I was just walking around my house, walking around the island, I had a whole trail in my house, walking around the island, the great room, the living room, the family room, the kitchen. And I would just walk like this for 30 minutes. And I lost that weight like that. I was telling a young lady today, I was like, 90% of it is our diet, you guys. You can work out, you can go hard in the paint, you can lift, you can be on the treadmill, you can be on the stairmaster, you can work out, work out, work out. But if your diet is piss poor, you just wasting time. I know. You're just wasting time. You're just wasting time. 90% for weight loss. Now, we all know exercise is super, super important and very, very good, especially for your mental state, your mental health. Walking and exercise is extremely important. But as far as weight loss, 85 to 90% of it is going to come from your diet. What are you putting in your mouth? What are you drinking? Are you drinking alcohol? Are you drinking sodas? That's just sugar, 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 sugar. Are you eating a lot of carbs? Are you eating a lot of cookies and candy and cakes? That's just sugar, sugar, sugar. You're not going to see really any movement on the scale. You have to watch what you eat. And those first two times that I lost, the first time on keto in 2018, I lost 20 pounds. I went through COVID, depression. I gained all that 20 pounds back and 20 pounds more. So then in 2021, January 6th of 2021, I gave up alcohol and I went back on keto. And then of course you guys know I always incorporate keto with intermittent fasting. And so when I did that, no alcohol, keto lifestyle, um, no sugars, cakes, cookies, no alcohol, and 10,000 steps a day, that weight came off like this. I mean, it just fell off. I wasn't even weighing myself every day. It was just I could just see it in my clothes, everything, and I would weigh myself once a week, and that number just kept going down and down and down and down and down. It's easy, but the majority of it is what you putting in your mouth. What are you putting in your mouth? And so today I was at the gym this morning. Ooh, I think, yeah, I was at the gym for 2 hours. So I had an hour dance class. Then after the dance class, me and my other girlfriend, we got on that treadmill on the incline because one of my other girlfriends was telling me, she was like, because I was telling her I like to do my 30 minutes on the treadmill after the dance class. And so she was like, yes, you guys, be sure to like the video. Be sure to like the video, you guys. We got 26 people in here and 7 likes. Be sure to hit the like button, you guys. Even if you can't stay, just hit the like button. And then also make sure that you guys are subscribed. Please subscribe. I'm on a mission this year of hitting 10,000 subscribers, double digits. And so I set a goal this year of meeting 10,000 subscribers. So please, guys, be sure to subscribe and hit that like button. But I was telling my one girlfriend, I was like, so yeah, after dance class, I like to get on the treadmill for 30 minutes. But I was just kind of just walking flat on the treadmill. And then I was walking flat. I was walking at a pace of 3.0, and my balance is horrific, you guys. I have really bad balance. I need to work on it. That's why I like to go to yoga to try to practice growing my tree and practice with my yoga. This is very important for me, especially at my age. I really need to work on my balance. So my one girlfriend, she's in her 20s though. And she was like, 'cause I hadn't seen her in a couple, probably like a month. And she came to dance class, and I was like, what in the hell? Her waist is just snatched, hips, booty. I'm like, oh my God, what are you doing? But I know she's a runner. Like she likes to literally run. Like she does 5K and 10K runs. Crazy. And so she said, because it's been so hot here in Vegas, she hasn't been able to run outside. And she said, what I need to do was, she said, she called it the 12, 12, 2.5, 30. But she might have did the numbers, differently, but that's what it means. And so that means do an incline of 12, walk for 30 minutes at a speed of 2.5. Do not hold on to the rails. Wait a minute. Oh, that's a good Q&A. Yes, yes, yes. I want that one. I want that. Start Q&A. Hey, hey. Do you guys see the question? I was just talking about, look at YouTube listening to me. I told you guys they're always listening. The algorithm is always listening to us. Do you guys see the Q&A? What's your favorite workout? I definitely want to know that. I love some good ideas. And so my girlfriend said, okay, Trey, because I was like, how did you get snatched like that? And I wasn't even going to ask her routine because I know that this girl runs and she's 20. Well, she's not 20. She's like, I think 28, 29. And so I was just like, girl, how? She's always had a bag. But her body has always been T, just always been T. But her waist just looked super snatched this last time. And I was like, what the heck? And she said, because it's been so hot outside here in Vegas, she hasn't been able to get outside and run like she normally does. So she said she's been inside in the gym and she's been putting the incline at 12. I wasn't putting any incline on mine. She said, walk, keep the 30 minutes that I've been walking. That's good. But she said, then take the speed to 2.5 and let go of the rails. She said, all this kind of moving like this is going to, like, I guess what it's doing is it's like, shh, 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 like that when you let go of the rails. And then you walking on this incline like this. And I was like, girl, there is no way in hell. They just be laughing at me. I be telling my girlfriends all the time, I am menopausal. They just laugh at me. They're like, Tracy, cut it out. I'm like, I'm serious. I got joint issues. She's like, Tracy, you can do this. Stop. But I have to watch her too. I have to be careful on her advice too, because she's so young, because she's so active. I have to be real careful. I can take bits and pieces of what she does because I remember one time for my birthday was that not this year, but last year. And she was like, okay, we gonna go out, we gonna do this, we gonna go to dinner, da da da. She was like, but in the morning, let's go hiking this trail. I like to hike trails. So I was like, yeah, let's go hike these trails. I need my towel. I'm getting hot. I told you guys I'm in a pot. Oh, wait, where's my fan? I need to start utilizing my fans. And so she said, she said, Tracy, this is a really good, this was a really fun birthday present and time. It was just so fun because you guys know, you probably like me. In the past, for my birthdays, I would just go out to dinner, just and after so many years, that becomes just boring, boring, boring. So she was like, okay, in the day for your birthday, we're going to go walk a trail. We're going to hike. She did say hike. She said, we're going to hike a trail. And I was like, okay. And then she was like, then later on that night, we're going to go out to a nice dinner. And so I was like, okay. I didn't ask any questions. I'm just like, I like to hike the trails. I'm thinking these trails are just going to be just kind of pretty much on flat surface. This girl drove me to the side of the mountain and she had me hiking up a trail, all right, but it was up this mountain. Oh my God. I didn't even know that like height was an issue for me. But when you're walking up and hiking these mountains up here, you got in Las Vegas, you guys, there's no bars, there's no handrails. And the higher we got, I was just like feeling very uncomfortable. I was like, we can stop here. We got halfway up that mountain, and I was like, we can stop here because conveniently it was a bench right there. And I said, we can stop here. I said, let's take a break. And she's like, really? Because we weren't running or anything, because she normally runs up this trail, up this mountain like this. And so I said, we can stop at the bench right here and just take a break. And she said, really? And I said, yes. We stopped. We sat on that hot bench, took a little photo shoot. And I said, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. She's like, Tracy, yes, you can. I said, I can't do it. Not only, it wasn't like so so exhausting. It was just the higher up we kept going, I just was not feeling very comfortable. I just wasn't feeling comfortable. She said, "You know, I run this trail." I said, "I bet you do. You got a body like this." So when she said, "Walk the trail," when we came back down off that mountain, I said, "Okay, I got you. I now know what you mean when you say let's go hike a trail." She means hike up the side of the mountain. So when she was telling me about how she got her waist snatched like that, she was like, "You got to go on an incline of 12." And I'm like, I don't have any incline at all. And she's like, "You can do it, Tracy. You can do it." And then she said, "And you got to let go of the rails." I'm like, "I can't let I'm like an old lady. I'm like, "I can't let go of these rails." Oh, heck yeah. Nee Joy says, "Hiking with my fur babies." Oh, what kind of fur babies do you have? Roxy can't take all that heat. I have a little long hair chihuahua. She couldn't even take that. I know. Just me said, "Uphill is too much for me." It was too much for me. It was a good workout, and it was a good time because once we got to even the bench area, the breeze was really good, and we just sat there and we talked. We took a photo shoot. It was really nice. We actually sat up there on the bench for about 30 minutes. It was really nice. Uh the reel says, "Tracy, do you have a private community we could join outside of YouTube?" The reels, I'm working on it. I got so much going on. I really want to start my community. I'm trying to figure out how and where. I'm trying to figure out the where. So if you have some ideas, I was thinking, do I just want to become more active on my YouTube community page? Because YouTube has a community tab that we could keep our conversations going on. I just have never really used it, and I want to be able, when I do start my community of women, I want to be able to have control over it. You know what I mean? I want to be able to select and vet who is part of our community. I don't want any men to be able to get into our community. This is a community of women that I want to start for us to talk about our issues and our concern. And so I just don't know on YouTube if I'm going to be able to regulate, like be able to decide and vet who I want in a community. So I was also thinking about starting my community over there on Facebook, but because I'm not active on Facebook, I don't know how Facebook works. So I am definitely open to any ideas. Um, do they is it how are the communities over there on Reddit? Like I really want to start my own community, but I just haven't done the research to find out which platform is going to be best for what I'm looking for. I want to be very selective. I want to be very selective. I want to be able to put the filter that this is a women's only group, a women's only group. I want to attract like-minded women like me and build my, community that way. So I'm definitely open up to any and all ideas as far as what's a good platform that can fulfill those needs as far as how I want to select my community. Hi, Eric. Eric says, "Hello, butter pecan ice cream." Eric, that is so funny. One of my girlfriends in dance class called me that. It's some song that we cool down to. And in the song, the guy says something about butter pecan. And ever since then, she's always like, every time I hear this song, I think about you. So she always calls me butter pecan. That is such a cute name. I like that name. Oh, a pit bull. Nee Joy says, "I have a pit bull." Hoo, hoo, hoo. I don't play around with those type of dogs. I say I'm a dog person, but not really. I'm like a toy breed dog person. I don't play around with big dogs. I don't play around. I'm not scared of them. It's just I it's just not me. I don't feel like I can train them properly. I just can't. I just deal with toy breed dogs. Oh, the real says I create platforms for private communities. What? Send me an email, the reals, and let's talk about that more offline. My email is tracyunplugged@gmail.com. Shoot me an email. I would love to talk more about that. Yes, she said I can email you. Absolutely. Email me because I definitely want to start my community of sisters. Absolutely. Yes, you guys, be sure to say hi as you guys come in and make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Jess CO says maybe heartbeat platform. See there? I never even heard of that, Jess. I never even heard of that heartbeat platform. Silver Screen says I'm scared of big dogs. I don't. It's not my jam. It's not my jam. However, if I would have gotten a dog at the time in which I was looking to get a fur baby, if I was single, no kids, I probably would have gotten a big dog. I probably would have just because I would have wanted a more, I wanted a protector. And when I'm walking around, I wanted a beast. As a matter of fact, before I got my first fur baby, I was really heavily looking into is that a German Shepherd, you guys? A certain type of German Shepherd that it's white. It looks like a wolf and it has the blue eyes. I was looking heavy into that dog. Is that a German Shepherd or something else? It looks like a wolf and it's white, maybe some little light gray highlights, but it has those crystal blue eyes. I wanted that dog. That dog was beautiful. I don't know. Again, I think I just didn't put a trigger on it because I was just like, "Oh, Tracy, you don't really know that much about dogs," and I just felt very insufficient. I just felt like I didn't know enough, and but that dog was pretty, and I remember it was expensive. I was like, "Oh my God, this dog is gorgeous." Um, Silver Screen says you inspired me to buy some cute work outfits. Heck yeah. The ladies always talking about my work outfits. They're like, girl, where'd you get that from? Girl, where'd you get that from? I'm like, absolutely. And you guys see, I just put them in rotation. I just put them in rotation, which is funny that you mentioned that because today I literally was like, when I put this outfit on, I was like, wait a minute. Did I wear this last Friday? I at least like to switch them up. Like, if I wore this last Friday, I wouldn't like to wear this exact one again until 3 weeks later. And then I like switch up the different colors on different days. So instead of if I would have worn this last Friday, then this week I would have worn it on Tuesday or Wednesday. But I don't like to wear the same outfit on Friday the following Friday. And so I woke up and I put this outfit on today and I was like, wait a minute, did I wear this outfit last Friday? You guys would know because I did a live. You guys, the time is flying so bad. I mean, so fast. I woke up today and was like, oh my God, I need to do a live today. I couldn't believe how fast this week went by. And I was literally like, did I wear this last Friday? But I don't think so. Do you guys remember what I had on last Friday? Husky. Oh, that's it. New says that's a husky. That's exactly right. Oh, that dog is beautiful. That dog is so freaking gorgeous. But I decided to go with the little toy breed. And that was the best decision for me. Roxy is about all I can handle. At the time, though, no, I already had Jack. I got Jack in 2011 or 2012. And Jack was my first dog. And he was a short haired chihuahua, little bitty thing. And then I kind of started feeling bad because I was like, oh, he needs a companion. And then 7 years later or 8 years later, I don't forget now. When did I get her? 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. 6 years later, I got Roxy because I was like, oh, Jack needs a companion. And so then Roxy is a long haired white with a little bit of the brown hair going down her back. I remember when I was looking at her up, all white, pure white dogs were like double the amount she was. And then when I saw her picture, the price was like half the price. And I was like, why? She was a baby. She was just born. And I was like, why? And the lady was telling me it's because she has a little bit of brown in her fur. I was like, what? Just because she has a little bit of brown in her fur? And they're like, yeah, people don't want to pay the high premium if she's not all snow white. I was like, "Give her to me." I was like, "I'll take her. That's my baby." And they literally were like sending me videos of her every week. They would send me a little short because she couldn't come right away because they need to go get all of their vaccinations because she was born in Texas. And so they need to get all their vaccinations. They need to whatever you guys know if you've ever had a dog and you got them from a different state they have to wait. I think it's either 6 or 8 weeks before they can travel. And the lady was so nice. She was literally sending me little no more than like 10 or 20-second clips, video clips of Roxy, just showing her different progression and what she doing this week. And I remember the litter that she was in, she had a brother who looked just like her. And when I had looked up on the website, I saw that his picture was up on the website and I thought it was Roxy. And so I thought I was getting like scammed because I'm like, this dog looks just like the dog that I had paid for the dog at that point. And so I was just like, oh my God, did I just fall for a scam? Because now I'm seeing up on their website this other little bitty dog, baby, just like Roxy. And I'm like, they didn't just change the freaking name and they out here selling my dog. And I was so nervous. And I emailed her and I was just like, why do I see my dog out there on your website? I've already, I think I had to put it on deposit. And I was like, I've already sent you guys $600. Like, why is her picture still out there? She's not available. And they were like, "Oh, no, that's not her. That's her brother." And I was like, "What?" And they said, "Yeah." And they told me the litter size or whatever. And they were like, and that was the only boy. And they were like, "That's her brother." And I was like, "Oh." They were like, "Do you want her brother too?" And I was like, "I can't do a brother." I said, "No, I already got a boy dog. His name is Jack." And they like, "Oh, okay, okay." Because I think they were gonna try to give me a discount if I got two dogs. And I was like, I cannot do three dogs. I can't. My son was small. I was just like, I already got a son. I already got a chihuahua. And now I'm about to get Roxy. I was like, that's more than enough. I used to tell people all the time, I got all these kids. I got all these kids over here. No, I can't do it. I can't do it. So but that little dog looked just like her. Oh, I was so nervous. I actually was nervous all the way up until the point that I went to the airport to actually pick her up. I was nervous for that entire 8 weeks that I had to wait because I was like, "Oh, man," because again, I had to send that deposit and I had nothing to show for it. And so I was just like, "Oh my God." And then when we went to go pick her up at the airport, I never forget, she's in this little crate and she's like, they put all this like paper, shredded paper in there, which I guess to keep her warm, and she had her blanket in there, but she was so tiny and they had the crate size like this. And so when I went to the little dog area to pick her up at the airport, I like looked down in the crate and I didn't see anything. And I was like, and I looked at the man, I was like, "There's supposed to be a dog in here. There was supposed to be a dog in here." And he was like, "It is a dog in there." And I was like, "I don't see anything." And so then he kind of opened the gate up and I had to move all the little paper out the side. And then there she was, like nestled back there in the corner. And she was behind the blanket and behind all that paper. I was like, oh my God. The minute I laid eyes on her, I fell in love. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God, I just fell in love with that little girl. I had everything for her. Oh my God, before she even got here, just like a baby, I had already purchased her you can't even call it a crate. It was. It was like a little mini house. I mean, top of the line. I had bought her this teepee. It was like a tent, like imagine a little miniature tent. It was navy blue. It was gorgeous. It had the little sticks like that, and it only stood about maybe this high. It had this nice navy blue the plush pillow on the inside. You could tie the sides just like a real tent. You could tie the sides to stay open, or at night you could just untie the sides and it would close like this. It was adorable. I had so much stuff for Roxy. I had so many toys, a house, a tent. It was so much. I had so much for her. But baby, as soon as I laid eyes on that girl, I was in love. In love. I remember before then, I used to always say, how can people sleep with their dogs? I get it. I mean, you love your pet, but and I used to call them pets. Like now, you guys know I say fur baby. I used to call them pets, and I would say, "Oh, thank you, the reals." The reals sent me an email so that I can look into and research my community. Uh, hey, hi CJ, hi David. And so I was like, I had so much stuff for her, but I remember before I got her, I was like, how can people sleep with their pets? Like, what? Like that don't seem like that's sanitary. The minute I saw Roxy, she was sleeping in the bed. I was like, she was sleeping in the bed. And to this day, Roxy sleeps in the bed with me. All the time. She sleeps in the bed with me. Even if she's like doing something else, she knows my schedule. I get out that bathtub, she can just hear me walking toward my bed. And she has like different areas around the house that are like beds for her. So she actually has a ivory cushion fur fluffy bed. This is the only thing that's actually a bed, her bed. And that stays in my bathroom. And she comes and she sleeps in there when I'm in the bathtub. She stays in the bathroom with me. And then when I'm not in the bathroom, but I'm in my room, she has this huge fur throw. It used to be a throw that I would put on the side of my bed. But because my bed sits up so high, she can't comfortably jump off my bed without possibly injuring herself. And so I took the fur throw and just laid it on the floor like a fur rug up under my bed. And they love to be nestled into something. So she'll go when I'm walking around up in my bedroom, she'll go up under the bed on her fur rug. And then when we're downstairs, she's on the couch and she's nestled up in between the pillows on the couch. She'll go from the couch in the family room to the couch in the great room because when nobody's here, she likes to be in the great room because she can see out the door and she can see who's coming to that front door and she got a really good view of everything because she's sitting so high. So she'll go from there to there. And then when it's nighttime, she literally will come and she will like come from up under the bed and she'll just yank on the comforter and like pick me up, it's time for bed, and she sleeps in the bed with me. And so now the whole you guys know I have a California king bed, and so the whole what I used to do is just put all of my pillows on because I keep a lot of pillows on my bed, and I would just stack them up on the right side of my bed. Well, now I've just arranged the pillows so that it's kind of it's and I put this like nice little flowing ivory um material and it's on top of the pillow. So it kind of feels like a fort to her. So it kind of feel like a tent, but it's actually on the bed, just the way the pillows are arranged. And she just gets nestled up in between those pillows and she is in heaven. She is sleeping on her back. All four of her legs are up and she is snoring. She is knocked out. She is absolutely spoiled. Okay, you guys, I need to go and flip over my chicken. You guys know I put my chicken in the air fryer. 20 minutes are up. Now I need to turn it. Okay, okay, guys, this is what it's looking like. Can you guys see that? Oh, can you guys see that? So they're nowhere near done. I don't know what chat is talking about. I asked chat when I got this air fryer, the new one. I said, how many minutes and at what temperature do I need to cook my wings? And chat said 400 for 22 minutes. This was 400 for 20 minutes. I'm gonna turn it over so you guys can see. Nothing about these wings is done. Like not even halfway done. I'm gonna show you guys how white they are. So I'm not, chat did not do a good job on that one. But you guys know everything, and every stove, every oven is just, you gotta just figure it out, like what temperature and the time kind of varies. So look at this, you guys. Look at how white those wings are. There's nothing nowhere near done. So I'm going to do 400 for another 20 minutes. So that's going to be a total of 40 minutes. And something tells me that even after the 40 minutes, I want a soda. Something tells me that even after the 40 minutes, I'm going to, ouch, I'm going to still need, I'm going to still need about probably 7 or 8 minutes. I'm going to still need about 7 or 8 minutes. What are you guys doing for 4th of July? Do you guys still celebrate 4th of July? Like when you were a kid, 4th of July was a big deal. You're going to go somewhere, go over to grandma's house, light fireworks. It's not the same anymore as an adult. Mm. I know you guys don't even tell me. This diet soda, my life, my life, stop. We got a phone call came in. Are you guys still there? Can you guys still see me? Hey, Shield. Shield says, I'm from the UK. The UK. I love your accent. I love you guys' accent in the UK. Okay. Just Me says she cooks her wings at a temperature of 365, but for how long, Just Me? How long at 365? And then do you like your wings wet or more crispy? I know. Just Me says, I miss those sparkles. Okay, the real says just going to cook a small dinner for myself and my daughter and my grandbaby to enjoy. Ooh, that sounds good. I love a nice little intimate setting, not doing too much. I might go over to my daughter's apartment. She said that she can go out on her balcony and there's a really good view of where they are popping fireworks. She has a really good view of the mountains too. Right outside her living room window, you can see it, and on her balcony. Oh my God, the mountains. Oh, and the sunset. Oh my God, you can see the sunset perfectly going down those mountains. Oh, when I tell you, it is just majestic. It is so beautiful. Maryland, CG says, hi, Tracy. Greetings from Maryland. Ah, God, it's been decades since I last visited Maryland. You guys see that big lizard just ran up the wall? Okay, Just Me says about 35 minutes on 375. Yeah, 20 minutes is nowhere near good. Wait, Just Me 35 minutes on each side. Yeah. I know we're chat and actually, okay, so you guys know that on a lot of these air fryers, they have presets and they'll have a picture of what you're trying to cook. And so for the picture that says the chicken leg, when I tap that one, do you know it cooks for 400 degrees for 22 minutes? I'm like, how did y'all get that? And you ladies know chicken is not one of those things that you play with. It needs to be cooked all the way through. I forgot where I was, and I think I was ordering pork, which is very rare. I hardly ever eat pork. What was I ordering? It was some type of white meat. And the lady was like, and what temperature would you like that? Maybe I was getting lamb chops. And she said, at what temperature do you want that? And I was like, well done. And I am so not when it comes to steaks, I am so not a well done person. I am a medium rare person all the time. But it does again depend on the restaurant because some restaurants, medium rare is just rare. Other people's restaurants, medium rare is perfect for me. I like a good pink center, not just a little pink. I like a good amount of pink in my steaks, but not anything else. No, no. Chicken, pork, that needs to be cooked all the way through. So I don't understand why this setting is saying 400 for 22 minutes. It's nowhere near done. They need to correct that. Hey, hey, hey. Just Me says, greetings from Bay Area, California. Oh, it's been a minute since we went to California. That was the last time we went was, wow, 23. Last time I went to California was 2023. We were on a roll. We kept going to California for Christmas. Yeah, and we would do Universal Studios, and we would go for the Christmas holiday. Oh, Universal Studios is beautiful for Christmas. They decorate so nice and a big, gorgeous tree. Hey, Joyous. Joyous says, hi, Tracy. Hi, everyone in the chat. Happy Friday, Friday, Friday. Happy Friday. What are you doing, Joyous, on your Good Friday? What you guys got planned for the weekend? One of my girlfriends told me after dance class, Rachel, hey, girl. Hey, Rachel, how you doing? Hey, boo. Hey, girl, hey. One of my girlfriends invited me after dance class today. She was like, okay, Tracy, I got something for you. I was like, what? She's like, what you doing tomorrow? And I was like, I'm open. I told you guys, I live in free. I live the life of a teenager. I'm like, I'm free, whatever you want to do. And she invited me to a 90s party like mixer. I've never heard of this before. I've never gone to this before. And the tickets I think are only like $20 and everybody's dressing up. Wasn't I just talking to you guys about 90s? And I was like, oh my God, I miss the 90s. I miss dating from the 90s. I miss the music from the 90s, the whole vibe, the hairstyles. Oh, and she literally just invited me to this dance party tomorrow night. It's a 90s party. Yes. Oh, Rachel, thank you for the super chat. Rachel, you know you be spoiling me, girl. Rachel sent me a $20 super chat. You so sweet. That's my baby. Um, for coffee. Rachel, you know I love my coffee. Today I went with one of my girlfriends after gym class. She was like, "What is that drink you're getting?" And I said, it's a venti iced, sugar-free caramel protein matcha. And it's a scoop of protein in here, and it has 31 grams of protein. Look at that. See, they put on there, you rock. Can you guys see that? And so we were over there. Oh, baby, we had some good conversation. That's why I was running late and didn't do my live today until 3. I literally did not leave the Starbucks until 2:15, 2:30. Woo, we had some good conversation. Some fabulous conversation. And this lady is mid-30s. I said, "Girl, you have the wisdom." You guys know those people, they just have an old soul. Now she looked like a baby. She looks like she's 25, 26, but she's 35. But the wisdom this girl has. I'm like, you are like, you've been here before. I said, girl, you've been here before. You got some wisdom. And boy, we talked and talked and talked. Oh my God, we had such good conversation. This is why I tell you ladies all the time. My life is like perfection. I can just up after dance class, go have Starbucks, talk with the girlies, just good conversation. Remember, I was telling you guys, like, oftentimes when you remove the romance from a relationship with a man, oftentimes they are just so basic and boring. They just don't have any good conversation when it's no longer sex tied to it. You know what I mean? Like they just boring. And oftentimes we as ladies, we make them more than what they are because we got feelings and we're just like, oh my God, he's so dreamy. Oh my God, he is so beautiful. But when you remove that, ladies, oftentimes these men are so basic and boring. They don't have any good conversation. They don't have any depth to their conversation. And me and this young lady today, we were just talking. Oh, that was just such a good conversation. I just love having these ladies in my life. I mean, they're just phenomenal. The women that I have chosen to be a part of my sisterhood are all just phenomenal, phenomenal. So after dance class, my other girlfriend was telling me about this 90s party, and she said they're dressing up. I'm like, okay, so although I was a 20-year-old in the 90s, I'm like, how can I dress up? I was like, so what are we dressing up like? Because they were all like, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? And so I was like, so what are you guys dress? So what is 90s dress? And so they said, okay, Tracy, do you have any like maybe a jersey? My one girlfriend said she gonna wear a jersey, maybe with a baseball cap to the back. And big, oh, kind of like I remember that. I do remember that with Salt and Pepper. And they would have the one girl, was that Cinderella? Well, anyway, she would have the hat turned to the back and the big bamboo earrings. I don't have any earrings like that. Um, what's another style though for the 90s? 90. I'm trying to think, what was I dressing like in the 90s? In 90s. Okay, okay. When I think about salt and pepper, okay, what I could do is I do have like a black bodysuit, and I kind of remember salt and pepper. One of them would have on like a black bodysuit, like with straps, and then they would wear like a crop jacket, and then maybe some sneakers. I definitely don't own any high top tennis shoes, but I got some Air Force Ones. It's too hot in Vegas. I don't want to wear no chunky Air Force Ones. I didn't dress like that even in the 90s though. I was always a how would I describe how I dressed in the 90s? I'm trying to think of a person, a celebrity from the 90s that kind of mimics my look. Um I definitely wasn't a sneakerhead. I was never a sneaker gal. I was never a sneaker gal. 90s. 90s. I just remember I was working in corporate. I used to wear a lot of pencil skirts, button down shirts, high heels. I guess because I was never really a hip hop girl. Like I never really I know some of the music, but I never really got into like the look of the hip hop girlies. And so it's really going to be challenging for me to try to find something like that. I guess what I could do, now this I do have, and I can easily do this, maybe just wear a bodysuit with maybe some ripped jeans. I do have some jeans that got some tears in them, and then some sneakers. I definitely don't have any jersey type stuff. And even if I don't want to wear that. I mean, even if I could probably ask Gary or somebody if they have a jersey. I'm sure one of the guys got a jersey, but I don't want to wear that. That's not really my style. So maybe I'll wear like either a bodysuit with a crop jacket. See, you guys here in Vegas, you gotta be prepared for this heat, especially when it comes to parties and a lot of people. I get overheated easily. You guys know I'm menopausal. I be having hot flashes, and so I really have to dress for this heat. And nothing about jeans and sneakers seem like that's gonna be comfortable. Mhm. Yes, just me said, yes, me too. Corporate pencil skirts was my favorite. Oh, just me. I used to wear it out with some 5-inch heels. What you talking? And then I would get fancy and I would take like if I had on a khaki pencil skirt, high heels, and they was always like strappy high heels, like a strap around my ankle. And then I would always take like my whatever button down shirt I'm gonna wear with the collar. And then instead of just buttoning it all the way down and then tucking it in my skirt, I would button it like down to here. And then I would leave this part unbuttoned and then I would tie it in a bow. Baby, that was my jam. That was my jam. So I would like to wear some type of dress. And maybe I can make it look sporty by maybe I can make it look sporty. How can I make it look? Of course, I could just wear my hair up in a ponytail. That would definitely make any outfit look sporty. I definitely got some big gold hoop earrings. And I'm trying to visualize my closet. That over there is all gym workout clothes. That over there are like really nice summer dresses. That over there is short sleeve bodysuits. That over there is where all of my like strappy bodysuits are. And then the whole right side, that's all winter clothes or just heavier clothes. Oh, I just thought about it right here with you guys. Okay, I got these jumpsuits. They're for the summer. They're short sleeve. They're thin. I got one in black and one in khaki. They are super cute. They're one piece jumpsuit. Khaki. It has a collar on it, short sleeve, and it zips up, and then it gathers at the ankle like maybe sweatpants, but it's not sweatpants material. It's really thin, light material. And then it has this cute little belt that goes around the waist, and the belt is black. So I could wear that, but then what type of shoes would I wear? Because I'm really not trying to wear sneakers. But if I wore some sneakers with it, if I wore some white sneakers with it, I would definitely be definitely that hip hop 90s look. If I just wore some, what I usually wear with it is some slide in uh sandals. They're like 4-inch sandals. Oh, that looks so cute. Okay, so I could wear that with my white sneakers. I would definitely be giving hip hop. Yeah, I could definitely do that. I could do that. I could do that. I could do that. I could do that. Uh-huh. And then I can wear my Kate Spade backpack. And that'll look really like kind of young and hip hoppy looking, I suppose. Okay, yeah, give me some ideas. Okay, Joya says a white tank top with a pair of white tank top with a pair of ripped jeans with a thick belt, white tank top. I got ripped jeans I have with a thick belt and some heels. Ooh, that sounds cute. Didn't they, Joyous? Oh, the girlies, they would like have this sport, kind of like Aaliyah. It would always be like a little crop top and like tank top, but then some baggy jeans and some sneakers, and it would look girly, but then kind of tomboyish. Oh, I used to love the way Aaliyah used to dress. R.I.P. Yes, okay, ripped jeans with a thick belt and some heels. I definitely got a thick belt, but I don't think I'm gonna wear heels, Joyous, because we're gonna be doing a lot of dancing and I want to be comfortable and I want to dance. But I can do that. I can do that, Joyous. and maybe just switch it out with some sneakers. Absolutely. And she said a long necklace with some hoop earrings. I definitely got to do my hoop earrings. Do I have a long necklace? Long necklace. Do you guys know I still haven't went up to the crystal shop to get my crystal? I wanted to get a crystal on the chain. Okay. Kiki says overalls. Food. This was hot in the 90s. She reminded me. Overalls. I don't have any overalls. Fubu sets. Yep. Tommy Hilfiger. What? That sounds so crazy. That sure did. Clueless cast member. I never heard that. Wait. You talking about the movie Clueless? Oh God, I love that movie. Oh, wait. What's her name? Was so she's always been gorgeous to me. Stacey Dash. She is fire. I think Stacey Dash is fine today. Oh, I loved her in Clueless. Okay. Kiki said combat boots and sunglasses. I don't own any combat boots. My girlfriend, when we went, I still haven't put up those pictures of the No Doubt concert with my girlfriend. I got to remember to put those up. Wow, we took a lot of pictures. But my girlfriend had both me and my, I had on plaid pants for the No Doubt concert, green, black, and white, and a black tank top, and I just wore black sandals. But my girlfriend had on black pants, I think a black tank top, and then she had a red, white, and black plaid shirt wrapped around her waist, and she had combat boots. She was ready. She said ever since she'd been going to rave parties, she had to buy her a set of combat boots. But I do have some boots that kind of look like combat boots, but they are red bottoms, and so anybody who know anything about red bottoms, they are so freaking uncomfortable. Oh, what a bad purchase. Anyway, no. Joya says, "Do you own a pair of Chucks?" No, but I do have a pair of Nikes that look like those shoes. They're white with the black swoosh, and they're flat, and they kind of got that red stripe around the sole. They look a lot like some Chucks, but I could wear those. Those are comfortable too. Some sandals. Yep, I got some sandals. I got plenty of sandals I could wear. I don't have any combat boots. Okay, Kiki said dressed like Jada Pickett Smith from A Different World. You know what? These they gonna make me pull up my old movies. Do you guys remember that old movie, um, School Days? I was over at Ashley's and she was on Tubi. I don't have Tubi. She was on Tubi and it was pulling up all these black movies and School Days came on. I'm like, not came on, but it came on the screen, the thumbnail. I'm like, have you ever seen School Days? Boy, that was so my time. Now, I think when School Days came out, I think I might have been a sophomore in high school. What year did School Days come out? If School Days came out in 88, I was a sophomore. I graduated in 1990. So, School Days. Um, Jada Pickett Smith. When I think of A Different World, I think of Jasmine Guy. I'm like, Jada Pickett Smith. Jada Pickett Smith. I think she kind of had, was it kind of like very similar to that Aaliyah look? Was it similar to that? You know, like where they would wear the baggy pants. Now that I think about it, I have some I have three different pair of like cargo pants. And where they get kind of, they gather around your ankle. One pair is khaki color, another pair is gray, another pair is camo. Oh, I love those camo cargo pants. Love. But I usually wear those in the winter. They seem so heavy. I don't really like to wear those in the summer. That's the material is kind of heavy. But the gray ones, that material is light and they're cargo pants. I love a good cargo pants and some sneakers. Just me said that's all you need. Red Ladybug says, "Hi, Tracy. I'm watching from Las Vegas. I'm in Las Vegas. And I just love you and your channel. Oh, thank you so much. Yes, you guys, be sure to hit the thumbs up button. Even if you cannot stay, be sure to hit the thumbs up button and look down there and make sure that you guys are subscribed. People are saying that they thought that they were subscribed and then they look down there and realize that they were not subscribed. Be sure that you guys are subscribed. You're in Las Vegas. So you know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about this heat. This heat out here. I'm trying to plan this party. I'm trying to plan what I'm going to wear to this 90s party tomorrow. And I need to I'm you guys may be like, "Oh, Tracy, you putting too much into it." No, I am not. Every time my girlfriends ask me to a theme party, they don't play. They go all out, like they dress up, dress up. And I don't know if this is just a Vegas thing, but my girlfriend was telling me before we went to the No Doubt concert, she was like, there's going to be a lot of people here literally dressed up like costume dressed up like Gwen Stefani. Sure enough, these people don't play. They were dressed up in all these different looks of Gwen Stefani. It was crazy. Because at first I was like, I'm just gonna I don't know, wear some jeans or something. And she was like, no, people will like take different eras and different times and different looks of hers and mimic and dress up like that. One of my girlfriends had invited me a couple of years ago to an 80s party. And I'm like, yeah, okay. She was like, it's not just 80s music, then like people will be dressed up. Everybody was dressed up. This was not Halloween. Everybody was dressed up in 80s gear. So I already know this party tomorrow. It's going people are going to be dressed up in their 90s gear. So I got to bring it. I have to bring it. So I just need to make sure that I definitely think because it's so hot, I definitely and I want to be comfortable. I definitely think I'm going to wear some type of tank, uh jeans or some type of pants, either a cargo pant or some jeans with the rips in it, like you guys were telling me. And then probably some type of sneakers because the girls were telling me today that they're definitely wearing jerseys and high tops. So some type of sneakers. Do you guys remember that crazy Flavor Flav guy? And he had a long chain with the big clock. Is that 80s or 90s? Flavor Flav with the big clock, is that 80s or 90s? Sometimes I get my decades mixed up. But boy, if I had some of those big square earrings that the girls used to always wear in the 90s, that would have been cool. You guys know how I used to wear my hair? I used to wear my hair like the one girl in Salt and Pepper. I used to, baby, you couldn't tell me nothing. I used to have this what they used to call it, symmetrical hairstyle, where this the bob, but one side was longer than the other. Oh, baby, I rocked that for a while. But again, it kind of felt like I was doing that in high school. Which would mean that was the 80s. By the time I graduated high school, that is so crazy. I'm like, what the hell was I doing at 20? Oh, That's probably why I can't remember. That's when I went I went away to school for the first year and a half. And that's where I told you guys I started I started dating the star of the basketball team. That's the guy that I told you guys knocked me out. Isn't that funny? How you could just blur out a whole 2, 3 years out of your life. I'm like, why can I? I'm like, what was I doing? I can remember May of 1990. I graduated high school. I got that. But I was like, what was I doing in 91, 92? What was I doing? Oh, I was getting knocked out. That dude knocked me unconscious, put me in the back of that ambulance. Ooh, boy, when I tell you guys, I have lived a lot of life, a lot of life. So that's probably why I don't remember it. I tried to put that in my rearview mirror and just forget that whole 2, 3 years. Okay, but then once I came back home, now we're in 93. I'm sure I was probably still distraught and depressed that my boyfriend had laid hands on me. So I remember that. I remember I needed to recoup because I remember I didn't even go right back to college. I took like a year and a half off because I was all messed up. And then I remember waking up and I was like, girl, you are not about to let this dude stop you from finishing school. Get your butt up and get back in school. And so there was a dark time, definitely sad. I remember too, I went back, I started going back to church. I started going back to church heavy. I remember my mom was like, you going to church? She's like, when's the last time you been to church? And it just looked so odd that this 20-year-old was just like, I just fell right back into church. I was going to church on Wednesday. I was going to church on Sunday. I was going to church on Saturday evening. I was like, I just feel like I need some healing from what I just went through. So I remember I went through that phase. That was definitely in the early 90s. So I wasn't paying attention to style and music and parties. I wasn't doing any of that. And then when I got back in school, that's when I met my first husband. He was super religious, and so I wasn't partying. I wasn't doing any of that. I was really, really boring, you guys. That's why I tell you guys, my life now, this is why I don't compare it. When I say I'm having so much fun now, my life is so carefree and fun and exciting. I always say, like my when I was 19. That's why I keep saying 19, because when I was 22, 23, ugh, I was boring. I had this just like little mushroom hairstyle. Uh, it was just boring. I was in a relationship with that dude. We was always at church, just a snoozer. But then when I ended that relationship, it was like I had been cooped up for too long, baby. I was like, I'm ready to be free and experience the world. And so shortly after I ended that relationship with the super religious guy, I just was like, I just got to live life. I just felt like I had missed so much time. And I think I was like 28. And I remember it like it was yesterday. I was like, I want to try everything. And that's when I started dating this girl. Yep. And I was in this relationship for close to 2 years with this girl. Yeah, we had fun. We had fun. I was like, I want to try this and I want to try that. That's when I was trying my good ecstasy. Baby, we had a blast. I tried my ecstasy. I was going to the clubs. We was dancing, me and my girlfriend. We had a blast. We had a blast. We had a blast. We had a blast. Oh, that's when I tried mushrooms for the first time. I was like, you know what? You guys, now some things I don't need to try. Like I never tried crack. I never tried cocaine. I never tried heroin. Like there's some things I just don't need to try. But I remember I wanted to try ecstasy, and we was. Yeah, we would go party on the weekends. God, that was some good time. That was some good times. And then I remember one time somebody was like, we weren't going to the clubs this day. And we just had a group of friends that we would always hang out with. And one time, one of the guys in our group was like, have you guys ever tried mushrooms? And I'm like, mushrooms? You mean like the mushrooms you cook with? And he's like, no, not that kind. And I kept thinking, no, but I'm thinking, how harmful could they be? I did mushrooms one time and I was like, I don't ever want to do that again. When I did mushrooms, you guys, mushrooms was that thing that I was like, I want to come down. I was like, I am so tired of being high. Oh, I was high for like 8 hours. I remember like an hour into it, I was like, this is nothing. And we stayed in this wait, they're not, how did I forget the name? They're not a duplex. They're, what do they call the fourplex? And so it was like a two duplex put together. And it was like so it's not like a traditional apartment building. It's like, imagine two duplexes together. I don't know what that's called. And so we stayed on the left side on the bottom. Another girl that we used to party with stayed above us. And then somebody over here that we were friends with stayed over here. And then the people upstairs over there, we didn't really know. But we had this big front porch, beautiful big brick building we stayed in, gorgeous. It was one of those buildings, you guys know that I was born and raised in St. Louis, and in certain areas of St. Louis City they took all these like old brick buildings, these solid buildings, and they would just gut them out, and they would take literally everything out. I mean, the walls, everything, the floors, everything, and just keep the big stone brick structures. And then they will gut it out and renovate the whole thing. So, although this building may have been built in 1890, everything in inside was brand new. Oh, I used to love those freaking apartments. And we used to have this huge porch. And one day we were sitting out on the porch, just having fun, having a good time. And one of the guys was like, have you guys ever did mushrooms? We were like, no. He was like, okay, you guys want to try some? And I took a little, it seemed like I didn't even take that much. And I had some of that mushroom. Hey, Michelle. Michelle said, hi, Tracy. How are you doing? Great. Girl, telling them about this time that I did shrooms because I'm thinking about what I'm going to wear to this. I think that was a coyote just ran by. Um, because I'm thinking about what I'm going to wear to this 90s party that I'm going to tomorrow. And the ladies are helping me figure out what to wear because I need to be dressed like in the 90s gear. I know. Just me says I'm afraid of it all except weed. Just me, I can't do weed. I can't. I have tried weed. I don't like it. It just makes me paranoid. And people are always like, no, you got to try this strand and you got to try this. And being here in Las Vegas with the dispensaries, no, you got to try this thicker. This, I don't even know. And then the other one, no, you got to try this to do this. And then, no, try the gummies. No, try. And I'm like, I don't want to. Weed does nothing for me. All I want to do, I think my energy is just too much for weed. I like to be alert. I like to be up. I like to be feeling things. Every time I have tried marijuana, it just makes me, I just want to sit on the couch. I just want to eat. I don't want to do a darn thing. I don't like feeling like that. But it works, for some people, that's their thing. It has never been my jam. And then it makes me paranoid. It just makes me paranoid. I don't like it. I don't like being paranoid. So I tried these shrooms back in my 20s. It seemed like I didn't have that much. And it was about an hour in, and I was telling the guy, I was like, I don't feel anything. He was like, really? Give it some time. Give it some time. And we were sitting out there on that porch, and it was nighttime, and all of a sudden, we just are talking, listening to music, do do do. And next thing I know, the trees just started looking like animation, like literally like cartoon. Everything just started looking like cartoon animation. I just started seeing things that wasn't there. It was insane. And I remember I looked at my girlfriend and I was like, "Are you seeing this? Are you feeling it? Are you?" And she was like, "Yes." And I was like, "Does everything look like a cartoon?" And she was like, "Yes." She was like, "Everything is starting to look like," and we were just on that porch. It was a good summer night. The breeze was flowing. And so now I had just embraced the fact that, okay, we're hallucinating. Like, because I started seeing like clowns running by and birds, parakeets with all these colors. But this didn't exist. And so I remember him saying, just embrace it. Like, don't try to fight it. Like, don't try to fight the high. Just embrace it. And I was like, okay. And so I just started seeing all this stuff coming by, and lights and things and all these hallucination and clowns running back and forth and stuff. And I just was like, just talking to my girlfriend, like, this is crazy. And then we were sitting there and a hearse pulls up. And I was like, wow, now a hearse is gonna pull up. You guys know the car for that you put a deceased person in. And I was just like, wow, like right in front of us. It just bloop. And I'm like, that's crazy. Why am I hallucinating a hearse? And so I was like, I kind of looked at her and she looked at me and we were just like, I don't know if she also was like, dang, we're like hallucinating the same thing? And I said, "You see this?" And she said, "Yeah." And we were just sitting on the couch, you guys, and I'm in the couch on the front porch, and we just looking and just taking it all in, and like a movie, like wow. And then these people jumped out the hearse, and I'm just like, wow, this is a crazy dream state hallucination. This is a lot. Like that's weird. Where am I pulling this from? And these people jump out the hearse, and they go up the steps in the four duplex, whatever those things are called, we have one right across the street. And all these people just look animated. They look like they look like monkeys. They look like monkeys and clowns. And even the hearse looked like it was on these big rubber bouncy wheels like this. And I was like, what the heck? And the hearse pull up, and I'm like looking at all this like it was a movie. I'm like, whoa, whoa. And then the people jump out just like a cartoon. And they ran up the steps across the street and blah, 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 blah. And then a few minutes later, they come out with a body and they blah, blah, and they open up the back doors to the hearse, and they put the body back. I'm like, wow, these mushrooms are crazy. This is absolutely insane. And I just sat there for hours. And I remember thinking, I'm ready to come down. I'm tired of being high. I don't want to be high. And I remember I asked the guy, I said, how do I come down? I said, I'm tired. I said, we've been high for hours. I'm so tired. When we finally came down, we went inside our apartment. We went to sleep. The next morning, me and my girlfriend, we get up and we go back out on the porch drinking our coffee, just like, man, yeah, we got into some craziness last night. And we start talking about what all we saw when we were high. Yes, Kiki said, bad trip. This is why I don't like doing this type of stuff because you can't control it. Like once you're on a bad trip, you're on a bad trip. You guys remember that movie Vanilla Sky? And he was like, what was he saying when he realized he was on a bad dream or whatever? Something went, there was a glitch in his dream or whatever. He was like, dang, what was Cruise screaming? Uh, uh, tech support. Tom Cruise was like, tech support. I want to wake up. That's how I was. I was like, I want to wake up. I'm tired of being high. The next morning, my girlfriend and I, we go out on the front porch. It's probably afternoon because we was up all night on this bad trip. It wasn't bad like I was like, it was just like I had had enough of it. It was just went on for just too long. And the next morning, probably afternoon, we now back out on the porch and we having our coffee, just looking up and down the street, and we talking about what all we saw. And I said, girl, and remember that craziness. I said, I saw, and I'm just telling her what all I saw. And so I was like, at one point, I saw a hearse. And these big clown like people jumped out the hearse and went up the steps in the building across the street and looked like they brought out a body and drove off with the big bouncy wheels and the clown. And she was like, I saw that too. We on our side of the porch, you guys, and we're like, that's crazy. Like, cause before I mentioned the hearse, we were kind of both saying different things that we saw, and we're talking about our trip. And so I was saying, I saw this, and did you see this? And did the trees do this? And she was like, yeah, a little bit. But then did you see this? And some things I saw she didn't see, and things like that. But when I got to the hearse, she was like, I saw the hearse too. I said, did you see the hearse come with the big bouncy wheels? I said, boy, that was a crazy trip. And we just sitting there like that was crazy what all we saw high on mushrooms until the neighbor next door came outside and was like, what are you guys talking about? The neighbor didn't do mushrooms. And the neighbor was, and we were like, we were just laughing about how while we were on mushrooms last night, this big bouncy hearse came down the street and went inside that building over there, like, I don't know, picked up somebody or something. And she was like, no, that actually happened. What? She was like, you guys were out here outside? We were like, yeah. She said, no, that actually happened. She said, somebody died across the street. She said, but there was no need to call the ambulance because they were already gone. So she said a hearse actually did come here, pull up in front of the across the street, and the people went up in that building and got that body out of there. Who knows what we were doing, you guys, because we thought we were just seeing things. We thought we were just hallucinating. So we were probably over there on the porch, like, that's funny, clowns coming out of a hearse. It was real. It looked animated to us, but it really happened. A real somebody actually died in the building across the street. A hearse had came to pick them up, and these people actually came and got out the car. But to me and my girlfriend, they looked like clowns and monkeys and big rubber wheels. It was crazy. I was like, okay, I did that, done that, got the t-shirt. I don't ever need to do mushrooms again. I don't like I'm an Aries, you guys, and I don't like loss of control like that. Don't get me wrong, I wasn't like out of my mind, and like they show people who had that synthetic marijuana back in the day, and they would just be like, "Oh, I love it." No, I wasn't like that. We were just sitting there on the porch, but I don't like having that loss of control of not knowing what's real and what's a hallucination. Like, that just freaked me out so much when she said that actually happened. I was like, "That's not possible." And she was like, "Yes, somebody died in that building across the street." And I really don't know why we thought that that wasn't real, because all the other things that we were talking about were real things. Like, that was a real tree. It just started becoming animated. All of the clowns that I saw apparently were real people. They just would turn around and they would look like a clown, but they apparently were real people. So it wasn't like I was hallucinating to the point where I was seeing things that were not actually there. These things were there. They just started taking on a animation and a clown like or a monkey like face. And I just was like, and again, 8 hours of that. I just was like, I don't need to do that again. I'm good. I'm good. Kiki said my mom had a scary trip on crack. She said never again on crack. I never heard that. I never heard that. I used to always wonder. I was talking to a woman about this the other week. I said, how were people on crack? Because you guys got to remember in the 80s, I was in 82, I was 10. So I remember the crack epidemic, but I wasn't an adult. But I remember seeing aunts and uncles and adults going through that. And I used to be so not curious about the drug, but just like, how are they able to function? Like we used to call them functioning crack heads. Cause I was like, how are they able to like some of these people like maintain jobs, got up in the morning, took care of their kids, but they were doing crack. I saw this one movie and it was talking about that era and when it went from people doing cocaine to then doing crack. And they used to call it they were saying this movie I was watching, they used to always throw parties and stuff like this in the 70s, kind of like that Club 54 type of set. And they used to throw parties and stuff at their houses and things like that. And everybody was doing cocaine. And then one of the friends started kind of acting erratic and like start losing all this weight and skin looking depleted. And they were saying, oh, she's smoking the pipe. And so they were saying in that movie, girl, we told you, don't smoke that pipe. Isn't that crazy though, you guys, how they have been doing cocaine for years? This was like their party drug. This was kind of like, I guess, the generation now like to do Molly. Like they were doing cocaine, there was no problem. And then just changing the ingredients, adding a little, what did they used to say they used to do? Add some baking powder and something and cook it. And I don't know. But that is so crazy how you can just change the elements and the chemistry just a little bit. Add a little this, cook it a little longer, and then consume it a different way. Light it, smoke it versus snorting it. And just like that, we had that crack epidemic. Ooh, that crack epidemic ruined a lot of lives. A lot. I had family members, multiple family members. And I remember thinking, what's wrong with them? And I would hear, maybe my grandmother just battling that with them and trying to get them in rehab. It was a mess, you guys. The crack epidemic was a mess. If you guys have never seen it's multiple documentaries on Netflix about the crack epidemic. I think one may be called Crack. They are really good. Like really good. Like I didn't know that I thought crack was just what black people did because they found a way to take this cocaine, which was more expensive, and cook it and do this, and now they could sell it for cheaper and then get this cheaper high. I thought that I literally, that's how like literally I knew about this. I thought this was only a black thing. And this one documentary I saw was saying absolutely not. Absolutely not. Like white people were doing it too. They would just call it the pipe, or she's smoking, she just smoking it now. They didn't call it, they didn't really like to call it crack. They just kind of was like, oh, instead of snorting it, I just smoke it. And they would just call it a, like she's just smoking her pipe. But it was crack. And then in this documentary I saw on Netflix, what it literally had footage of all these white people lined up coming in these black neighborhoods to purchase. Like they wouldn't get out their cars. They would be lined up in their cars, and the dope dealer would be selling to all these non-black people. All this time I thought it was just a black thing. That is crazy. Uh Hey Young says, do you know K-pop? You mean like the Asian pop, like dancers and stuff? Yes. Just me said crack ruined my but the family is saved now. Thank God. I know that's right. You know what I found out too, just me? That a lot of people who were addicted to crack parlayed that right into the pain pill addiction. Like some people like addiction is addiction. And oftentimes people will give up one addiction just to just to have another addiction. And a lot of people, even those family members that I had that were addicted to crack, they just then became addicted to pain pills. Sure did. Sure did. And then I saw those documentaries about the pain pills. Because I remember thinking to myself, how can you get addicted to pain pills? All this time I thought pain pills was just like ibuprofen. I was like, how are they getting addicted to pain pills? Because I remember I would have family members, you guys, and I would have a surgery or something. And they would just immediately, maybe they haven't talked to me all year, but they found out through the grapevine that I just had a surgery. Hey, Tracy, what's going on? Oh, nothing. Just got back home, from the hospital. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I heard you had surgery. Yeah, you doing okay? You doing good? Yeah, as good as expected. Yeah. Hey, how you doing? I'm thinking they calling to check on me because I just had surgery. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Did they give you some pain pills? Uh, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna need to come over there and get those pain pills from you. Okay, sure. You in pain? Yeah, yeah, my back is hurting and I just need some of your pain pills. Okay, sure, sure. Come get, yeah, you can have some. Another family member, go have surgery for something. These family members hadn't talked to these people in years. Hey, I just heard you was in the hospital. Again, these people are like, oh wow, thank you for calling. Yeah, I was. Did they give you some pain pills? For years, you guys. I was like, you just want some ibuprofen? It wasn't until I actually started watching these documentaries, and there's a lot of documentaries on Netflix about that pain pill epidemic. Well, you guys know this is still a problem to this day. And I was like, oh, no, it's not just ibuprofen. This is basically heroin in a pill shape. Opioids. It's basically heroin. I was thinking back, I'm like, that's why those family members wanted my pain pills. I had no clue. I had multiple. Heck, I don't even talk to these family members, so I'm sure they probably still addicted to pain pills to this day. Multiple family members. Yeah, got strung out on them pain pills, addicted to pain pills. That is insane. This is why to this day I don't really put a whole lot of weight in some doctor, because when I saw those documentaries about how those doctors were pushing those pain pills, they were just nothing but drug dealers. Nothing but drug dealers. Getting these people, their patients, addicted. It had gotten so bad. They've cracked down on it a lot now, but it had gotten so bad where before, when it started off, this is why I always tell you guys, the Ozempic reminds me a lot of the whole pain pill epidemic and how that got started. Is because of these documentaries I had seen on how it actually got started. When it first got started, you had to come in there with a legitimate issue. You fell off of a ladder and you broke your hip. You were at work and you sustained an injury, a real injury. You went to the hospital, you had surgery, you had a real surgery, an injury. You had to show proof of this. And then you could get a prescription for pain pills. It had gotten so out of hand, you guys, that it got to a point where people could literally just go to their doctor and say, "Oh, I'm just having these migraines and they just won't go away." Because the doctors were getting paid for pushing the pills too, and literally started this pain pill epidemic. Sure did. Is that not exactly what we're hearing with this Ozempic? When Ozempic first came out, this was supposed to be for type 2 diabetics. Then it was, oh, we figured out that these GLP-1s can help you lose weight. Well, when they start using the GLP-1s and Ozempic for weight loss, you guys, you had to show like extreme obesity, like that you had a real problem, that you had been trying to lose weight for years and you just couldn't get it off. Do you guys know now? And you were getting shots. You had to take these shots that they would have to inject in their stomach. Do you guys know now that you can just get a pill for Ozempic? Do you guys know now all the different brands? It's all GLP-1s, you guys, but you got Ozempic, Manjaro, is that it? What's the one that that Serena Williams is pushing? Her brand, Row, something, what's that other one? Zeptide, Zeptin, something like that. Now you got all these different brands, you guys. Do you guys know now you don't even need to do the shots in your stomach anymore? You can just take a pill. Do you guys know now you don't even have to prove all of these problems, that you're extremely obese like you had to when this first came out? Now they're even pushing these GLP-1s on teenagers. You can just be a little overweight, and these doctors are like, no problem. These doctors are literally pushing these GLP-1s. I had a lady who literally said she went to her doctor. Yes, she was overweight. And the doctor immediately was like, I don't know if it was the Ozempic brand, but it was one of those brands. And he was like, yeah, we need to get you on this. You need to get on. She didn't even ask about it. He was like, no, you need to get on this. And she was like, really? I qualify for that? Yes, yes, we can get you qualified. And then she was like, I can't afford that. Well, we're going to see if we can get the insurance to pay for a portion of it. Was literally pushing it. She was like, well, no, I want to try some other things before I just go straight to Ozempic. You know, maybe I need to cut some things out of my diet. Maybe I need to start exercising. She said her own doctor was like, no, you really just need to get on Ozempic. These doctors know now that once you get on Ozempic, in order to maintain that weight loss, you have to stay on Ozempic. Ozempic or just GLP-1s. You have to stay on them, you guys, for the rest of your life. They've already admitted it. I'm not making this up. You have to stay. They say you go from weight loss dosage to, they lowered the dosage to maintenance dosage. But they say you have to be, once you get on it, in order to maintain that weight loss, you have to stay on it for the rest of your life. That is insane. Insane. Hi, here. Huh. Oh, here comes the joy. I like that username. Hi, here comes the joy. Yes, you guys, be sure to say hi as you guys come in and make sure that you hit that like button. Even if you guys can't stay, before you leave, be sure to hit the like button. Oh, and make sure you subscribe. I'm on a mission of hitting 10,000 subscribers this year, and I need your help. So make sure that you are subscribed. But yes, her own doctor was trying to push this GLP-1s on her. She was literally like, "Well, no, let me try some other things before I just go to Ozempic." I'm sure aren't there like why wouldn't you recommend some other things? Incorporate walking. Do you go to the gym? What does your diet look like? Do you drink alcohol? Do you eat a lot of sugar? Remove the carbs. This man went directly to Ozempic. That's why I keep telling you guys, you got to be real careful, even from these doctors, even from the advice you're getting from these doctors, because these doctors are getting paid to push these pills onto you. They don't care anything about your freaking health. They just don't. You know why they don't care about your health? Because the money is in the medicine, not the cure. These doctors will never tell you. Have you ever considered fasting? Well, I thought fasting was only for religious people. No. Have you ever heard of intermittent fasting? No. Doctor, tell me more about that. Well, intermittent fasting is where you have a window in your day that you eat, and then you have a window in your day where you don't eat. You have a feast window and a fasting window. Have you ever considered that? Maybe pushing off your breakfast. Instead of eating at 7 o'clock in the morning, gradually push it back to 8 o'clock. When you reach 8 o'clock, try to push it back to 9 o'clock. When you reach 9 o'clock, see if you can push it back and don't eat until 11. After 2 weeks at that, maybe try to push it back and see if you can wait until noon before you eat. When you hit eating at noon, how about try eating just 2 times a day and remove any snacks? How about go on about maybe 4 or 6 weeks of no alcohol? How about do you eat a lot of cookies and cakes and sugar and candy? How about let's just pull back? Let's not eat any of that. If you're looking for something sweet, eat some real fruit. Once you get to 12 o'clock, how about push it back to 1 o'clock? Next thing you know, you'll look up and you only eat between 1 and 6 p.m. The rest of that time, you're fasting. You're going to lose weight. You guys, you're going to lose weight. These doctors know all about fasting. They don't know a lot about nutrition, which is weird, but it's the truth. Look it up. They know how to diagnose a problem and they know how to give you a prescription medication. They get very little education. Last I checked, it was less than 15 credit hours in nutrition. They don't know anything about nutrition. I remember I had somebody say to me, "Well, you're not a doctor." And I'm like, "No, I'm not a doctor, but I know more about nutrition than your doctor. I promise you." They don't get much education in nutrition at all. You know why? Because the money is in the medicine, not in the cure. Your doctor will never tell you, start walking 10,000 steps a day. Just walk. Don't go lift any heavy weights. Don't try to go run a marathon. Don't try to sprint. Just walk. Maybe you don't want to start off at 10,000 steps. How about just walk 7,000 steps a day? Walk 7,000 steps a day. Do not put anything in your mouth before noon. Cut off all eating by 6 p.m. Remove the alcohol, remove the sugar, remove or lower those carbohydrates drastically. I just gave you ladies that for free. And if it's not for free, it's going to save you money. You know why? Because you're not going to be spending all this money on alcohol, sugary processed foods, and just eating 3 times a day with 2 snacks. Dang, there's all kind of stuff in my pool. Somebody's trash bin must have fell over, and now because it's windy, it done blew a paper bag in my pool, a bottle of water in my pool, and a plastic bag in my pool. And the pool guy was just here yesterday. I'm not gonna wait until Thursday before I'm gonna get out there and clean that today. But they're not gonna give you guys that information because it's free and they cannot make any money off of that. So this is why I always tell you, ladies, especially, be careful who you get advice from. And yes, I mean even the doctors. They're looking to sell you something. You have to ask yourself, what is this person's agenda? What are they trying to do? They're trying to sell you something. They're trying to push their pills on you. This knowledge and data you guys can find now on the good Google. This is why a lot of these professionals, doctors, lawyers, they are so petrified of Chat GPT. You know why? Because AI is coming for their jobs fast. Did you guys know that you can literally ask your Chat GPT, play the role of a lawyer? Here's my situation. If you were a lawyer, how would you advise me? You have to say, play the role of XYZ. Otherwise, it's going to, if you just go to ask it a question and it's a legal question, it's programmed to tell you, I'm not a lawyer. You need to seek professional help. You have to, how do you circumvent that by saying, play the role of a therapist? Oh, okay. I can play the role. And it may still say, I am not a therapist, but if I were, this is how I would advise you. And you can literally, you guys, when I tell you we are living in some of the most dynamic, magnificent times, I am so blessed to be living in this time and era. You guys, I have no idea how powerful these little machines we call phones are. You guys have no idea how powerful this Chat GPT is. Did you guys hear that the latest Chat GPT 5.6, they had to delay releasing it, that they now need to get government approval before they release these new models out to the masses? That's how powerful they are. That's why I keep telling you guys they can go somewhere and sit down when they're trying to tell you we haven't reached AGI yet, artificial general intelligence. Artificial general intelligence means that AI is just as smart as the average human in all general tasks. They say that we haven't reached AGI yet, maybe in a year or two. Now they're saying 27, no later than 28, will be at AGI. They are lying. In the labs, they already have AGI. And then the next level is ASI, artificial super intelligence, meaning AI is smarter than most humans. They can go somewhere and sit down. Now they're, you know that they are being disingenuous because now they're trying to ask the question instead of saying we've already reached AGI. They're saying things like, well, what is AGI? AGI just depends. AGI is relative. But the honest people in AI, in the AI field, they literally will say, like, these are, we're talking about smart physicists and scientists. They will admit, they'll say, I don't know when AGI is going to be here, but they'll say, I know I've already reached my AGI. They'll openly admit, I'm a smart person with a high IQ. AI is smarter than me. We are already there, you guys. All you have to do is ask your Chat GPT, say, play the role of, and then say whatever that role is, and then tell Chat GPT what your issue is, what your problem is, what your concern is. I tell you guys all the time when we're talking about relationships, pay a relationship coach. Why? This is why I always tell you guys, and I use this as a prime example. We are already at AGI. AGI is already smarter than the average human when it comes to relationships. You know why? Because AI recognizes patterns. So all you have to do is say, play the role of a relationship coach, play the role of a therapist, and then just speak it. Put it on the speaker button where you can just talking to it, and just talk to it like you would your therapist. Just tell Chad what's going on. What's your issue? So I've been dating this guy, and I don't have any hardcore evidence, but my intuition just feels like this guy is not authentic, that this guy is not loyal. But when I asked this guy, is he cheating on me? He said, you don't have any evidence. What do you think about that? Just do it as a science project, you guys. Just do it as an experiment. It is going to blow your mind. Chat will come back. Given everything that you just said to me, given the scenario, and given the fact that your guy said you don't have any evidence, but never actually said, no, I'm not cheating on you, and your intuition, and you're having these gut feelings, you should probably go off of your gut. There's a very high probability that, yes, this man is cheating on you. The other thing that I really love about chat is that chat takes the emotion out of it. Oftentimes we will make decisions about a thing because we're being ruled by our emotions. Let me give you an example. A couple of years ago, I had an accountant do my taxes, and I paid a lot of money for this accountant to do my taxes. And the following year, I got a letter from the IRS saying that they were charging me a penalty because I hadn't done my taxes by the deadline. I immediately was feeling like, oh, this dude scammed me out of all that money. I immediately emailed this accountant, and I'm thinking that I'm sounding pretty professional. I'm feeling inside very agitated. I'm feeling inside this dude has scammed me. I'm feeling inside, where the hell are my taxes? Why is the IRS sending me a letter saying I haven't filed my taxes and I paid you all this money? But I'm not, my words on the text in this email, they look really professional and mild mannered to me. Before I hit send, I took a snapshot and I sent it to chat. And then I explained to chat what just happened. I said, review this email before I send it and tell me if I'm missing anything, if there's any. I thought chat was going to give me some things that I needed to include it. Like maybe I might have forgotten to put in the email. Do you guys know that chat reviewed that email and came back in 1 second? Chat said, Tracy, I understand what you're going through. I understand that you feel like this accountant didn't do his job. He said, but absolutely do not send this email. He said, there is a lot of emotion in this email. What? I wasn't using words like, I am pissed off. What in the entire hell? I didn't, none of those. But I did use words like, I just finished a conversation with the IRS, and I was informed that my 2024 taxes have not been completed. And they have now sent me a letter requesting and charging me a penalty. I said something along the lines of, I paid you X amount of dollars to do my taxes. You need you need to show me where you filed my taxes and proof of my completed taxes, or you need to refund my money. Also, you need to pay this penalty if you did not file my taxes. It was like some words like that. Of course, no profanity or anything like that. And Chad was like, let's take a beat, Tracy. Chad said, let's take a beat. Chad said, I understand completely where you're coming from. He said, but let's reword this email. He said, we need to take the emotion out of the email. He said, I know you don't see the emotion in this email, but there's a lot of emotion. He said, your tone in this email is coming across like you are absolutely furious. And in I was like, that was my intent. I need him to know you're not gonna screw me over, buddy. Like, do I need? Oh, I think that was the other thing I put in the email, because when I had contacted the IRS, they said if you feel like you have been a victim of fraud, call this 1-800 number and report this guy. I put that in the email. I was like, if you can't prove to me that you filed my taxes, the representative at the IRS said that I need to call this 1-800-244-83221 to report you. Chad said, let's dial this back. We need to dial this back. Calm down. This is my chat saying this to me. Take a moment. He said, take a breath. He said, and this is how we're going to rewrite this. And then chat rewrote the email, the entire email. All I had to do was copy and paste. It said what I wanted to say, but it was like he said, he took the emotion out of it. He took the anger out of it. He took that kind of negative tone out of it. But it still said the same thing. And then he added on there, you have until Tuesday at 5 p.m. to show me my filed taxes. And you guys say that we haven't reached AGI. How is that possible that they're saying we haven't reached AGI when most of you know, if you work with ChatGPT, just on speed alone, Chat has already surpassed humans. What human do you know can write an entire chapter of a book in 30 seconds? People out here saying, oh, I want to write a book. I always wanted to write a book, but I don't know where to begin. I don't know where to start. Ask ChatGPT. Ask ChatGPT. ChatGPT has written 2 books for me already. I haven't published them or anything like that because I keep changing my mind on a topic. I keep changing my mind about what I want the book to be about because I keep evolving and I keep evolving so fast that a year ago, what I wanted to write a book about, I don't, I'm not in that place right now. So I don't want to really talk about that and I don't want to put a book out about it. Then I came up with another topic that I want to talk about. And then I just didn't pull the trigger on it because I'm like, I don't really want to talk about that either. If you guys are interested in writing a book and you're like, I have always wanted to write a book, get Chat GPT, ladies. It's so easy. We just live in an amazing time. You don't have to pay a therapist. You certainly shouldn't be out here paying for no relationship coach. That is just absolute silliness. I'm sorry. That is the biggest waste of money ever. Relationship coach, life coach. What are you doing? Anything you want to know, you just ask ChatGPT. ChatGPT is going to take the emotion out of it. It's going to help you make a informed decision without you being so emotionally involved and attached. It's going to have you take a beat, take a moment, think about what you're doing before you do it. ChatGPT already knows patterns. So oftentimes we will make just ill decisions because we're going off of our emotions. But I love him. It could be as blatant and apparent right in your face that this dude is no good. But because you got your emotions involved, you cannot see it. This is why they oftentimes say, ask somebody outside of it. Ask a girlfriend. Run that story past your girlfriend. Run that story to somebody who's unbiased, who don't have anything to gain from it. Run that by an outsider. You know why? Because they don't have emotion involved in it. They can see clearly. When you ladies start incorporating love, this is how we get got every time. This is how we get got every single time. Because we're like, but I love him. And if it's not love, we'll say silly things like, but I've been with him for 20 years. What that got to do with anything? If this a bum buster dude, if this is a dude who doesn't mean you any good, if this is a dude who's been cheating on you, what does it matter that you love him? Why are you going to subject yourself to all type of STDs and STIs because you still want to deal with some cheating whore? ChatGPT is going to tell you you got too much emotion involved. That's not an informed decision. That's not an educated decision. Let's just look at the facts. All this other rubbish, all this extra stimuli going on, that's quiet the noise and look at the facts. You ladies have no idea. You have a therapist, you have a doctor. Again, Chad is going to tell you, I am not a doctor. You want to seek professional help. I've even had Chad tell me, if I was playing this role, this is how I would advise you. And then when I say, oh, well, then can I just do that on my own? Chad will say, no, I think it's best still that you get an attorney to go over the actual legal parameters in your state. Like you still want to get an attorney. But there has been many times, you guys, where Chat has like steered me and guided me in ways that I never even thought about that. But because Chat is just unbiased, it's just like, have you ever thought about this? Have you ever considered this? Have you ever looked into that? I would look into these things, then decide which route you want to take. And as an attorney, I would say this, but you need to actually, it's worth it to pay the $300 for a consultation. You guys, we have darn near close to infinite intelligence in our pockets. That is insane. And when you couple that with source, a therapist, you need a therapist for what? Relationship guru, you paying an hour for life coaching. Why? When you have all this information right here, when you have a direct line to infinite intelligence, source, spirit, God, why would you pay somebody for this nonsense? Especially, like I said earlier, I'm not a doctor, but these doctors, when they don't have very much information or training in nutrition, why would you go off of this doctor trying to get you hooked on a lifetime drug like Ozempic? before you look into some natural ways, before you look into some natural ways. I'm not saying that there are no cases where people got on Ozempic and they really needed to get on Ozempic. But I'm just saying, in my opinion, I believe the majority of people can lose the weight in a more natural way than getting on a drug for the rest of their lives. Just my opinion. But people do what they want to do. Oh heck yeah. Just me says I have to file a grievance with the civil right department. I will utilize chat to help me with that. Thanks for that info. Absolutely, just me. Absolutely. The other thing you can do, when you get a letter in the mail, oftentimes you guys say you've been served with some papers. Say you get a letter from the IRS. You know how sometimes these letters they just they like above our pay grade. We're like, what does this mean? Like, what are you saying? What does this mean? Just take a snapshot of the letter and just send it to chat within seconds. Chat will be like, okay, this letter means, and just will put it in just regular layman's terms. This letter means blah, 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 blah. This is not anything serious. This is not anything that you got to, do something about right now. It's basically saying, just do you want to do this or do that? It is really good for that, you guys. I told you guys it's almost, I literally talk to chat all day, every day. How like back in the day, you would be like, what does this mean? What state is that capital in? What celebrity did that movie? And in our day, it used to be look it up in an encyclopedia. I know. And then it became Google it. Now, you guys, it's just chat. What movie did Jada Pinkett Smith play in where it was like four women and they were, I think, robbing a bank? Brrrr, set it off. What year did that movie come out in? Brrrr, the year. Who were the other actresses in that movie? Brrrr, Vivica Fox. Uh, what's that girl name? I just saw her. I was like, she still look good. The rapper, Queen Latifah. And I definitely don't remember the other girl name. I like her too. Chapel, 2 seconds. These were actresses. This is when the movie was released. And I now have told Chat, oh, this is the other thing you guys can do. Tell Chat to remember things about you. So I have now incorporated with my chat. I'll say, like if I want to do a video about a celebrity or doing a reaction about a celebrity who was on a podcast, I've now told my chat, give me fun facts about that celebrity. Give me fun facts about the making of that movie. And so now when I ask chat, oh chat, I'm going to do a just the other day I did a video. I don't think it's uploaded yet. I mean, I don't think it's been released yet. It might be released tomorrow morning now that I think about it. I did a video on Jennifer Lewis. She was on Kiki Palmer's podcast recently. And I did a video about her on that podcast. And because I told chat to remember, anytime I ask you about a movie, a celebrity, this, that, and the other, give me a fun fact. Give me something that most people don't know about this person. And so as soon as I said that I was doing a video about Jennifer Lewis, he was like, oh, yes, Jennifer Lewis got the this, da, 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 da. And then he goes, fun fact, Jennifer Lewis was born and raised in Kinloch, Missouri. I had no idea. Kinloch, you guys, is in St. Louis County. I know exactly where the area was. I don't know if it even exists now, but it's right by the airport. I was like, I had no idea that Jennifer Lewis was from Kinloch, Missouri, basically St. Louis. Then it also told me that Jennifer Lewis' first film was this old movie called Beaches. Do you guys remember this? Oh, with Bette Miller. If you guys have never seen this movie called Beaches, it's about friendship. Oh my God, this movie is absolutely, I literally just bought it. I had forgot all about that movie and how much I love that movie. But I did not know Jennifer Lewis' first movie was this movie that I used to love called Beaches. I was like, "Oh my god." So you can get it to do things like that. Get it to remember certain things. Don't remember I had this remember I had this situation with da da da. And it'll just always remember it. And so then when you go to ask some advice 2 weeks from now, it'll say, "Oh, and I remember." Like it'll say for me, like the different things I've told it to remember. It'll say, "Oh, and I remember this." It'll say, "This is probably a really good idea for you and your landscaping business." Or it'll say, "Oh, Tracy, and I remember with your YouTube channel, Tracy Unplugged, this is a topic about relationships. This will probably be a good topic to make a video about." Like it'll remember all these things. You just have to say, "Remember XYZ. Remember, this is my age. Remember, I live in Las Vegas. Remember, I'm in the state of Nevada." And it'll just always remember those things. So even now, the advice and the things that it talks to you about is now custom made and catered to you. The more information you give it about you and you tell it to remember this, and if you don't want that, there's an option in the app where you can say turn memory off. I personally don't think that that actually works. I think it just remembers. I just not everything, but I think even if you do toggle that to off, I think it's still going to remember things that you tell it. That's just what I think about AI. But anyway, you guys, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to finish cooking the last few minutes on my chicken wings, and I'm going to toss it in my good salad. I'm about to make me my salad. I'm going to toss it in this good sauce, and then I'm going to make me a salad, have this goat cheese. And what time is it? Oh, 5:28. Playing around with you guys. But the reason why I wasn't like super hungry because when I went, I treated myself. And so when I went on my coffee date with my girlfriend, I instead of just having the tea, matcha, I had some egg bites. So that's why I'm not like starving. But anyway, you guys, I'm about to finish cooking my wings, make my salad, have my cheese and my Diet Coke and get all the stuff out of my pool that is blown into the pool. And then that's going to do it, you guys. Be sure, you guys, before you leave, make sure that you hit that thumbs up button. Make sure that you are subscribed. Tomorrow's upload, if I'm not mistaken, I think is about Jennifer Lewis when she was on the Kiki Palmer podcast. If you guys had not seen that interview, you have got to see it. Jennifer Lewis is a hoot. I love this woman so much. She reminds me so much of my late great deceased grandmother. Oh my God, I love this woman so much. She is raw and real, my type of woman. So that's the upload that's coming up tomorrow. You guys remember that I upload videos every single day at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Tomorrow's video is going to be about Jennifer Lewis. Um, and then most days I upload a second time in the day at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So be sure that once you subscribe, that you guys turn on those bell notifications. And then that way, when I do pop up and do my lives, because I can never kind of get the time right, it's going to notify you when I go live and it's going to notify you when I do my uploads. So I upload every single day. Be on the lookout for those videos. Make sure that you hit that thumbs up button. Make sure that you are subscribed. And I will see you guys next week for my live. I don't know if it's going to be on Thursday or Friday, but you guys know I go live at least once a week. And other than that, you guys be on the lookout for the upload tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. And that's it. That's all I have for you guys. Thank you so much for joining me and keeping the chat going. Thank you, Just Me. Thank you, Joyous, Michelle Thompson, Rachel. Thank you so much for the super chat. Here comes Joy. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you guys for keeping the conversation going. It just feels like you guys are right here in the kitchen with me, talking with me. I love it when you guys are talking with me. Kiki, you guys, oh, thank you so much for you guys helping me figure out what I'm going to wear to the 90s party tomorrow. Oh, I appreciate you guys gave me some really, you guys gave me some really good ideas. And a lot of those things I actually have. Joyous, thank you so much. Who was here earlier that I was talking to? Rachel. Oh, whatever. I missed that, Rachel. She said you uplifted my spirit when I was looking for work 9 months ago. Oh, Rachel. I'm just now seeing that message. Oh, that's such a I uplifted her spirits when she was looking for work 9 months ago. Oh, I'm so happy I did that. You are a beauty, girly. You know I love you. Uh, CG, yes. Oh, the reels. Oh, that just reminded me the reels. I'm going to check my email because I want to get with you and talk to you more about forming my community. I'm really serious about that. I definitely really want to get that started this year. I want to build my sisterhood, my virtual sisterhood. Absolutely. I'm gonna need your help. CG, and I think that was it. Oh, Need Joy earlier today. Yes, thank you so much, Jess. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. And Silver Screen. Oh my God. I appreciate you guys so much for joining me on the live and keeping the conversation going. You guys are the best. You're simply the best. Eh. Better than all the rest. Ah, I love that song. Okay, you guys, I will see you guys for our live next week and stay tuned for the upload first thing in the morning. I love you. I love you. I love you. And I love you. And I love you. Mwah! Love you guys. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.